You know what I've been wondering lately?
What's that?
My wife and I were talking about it last night. Why there is so much, I mean, I'm not naive here,
Right.
but why is there so much anti-Semitism in the world now? And it seems more prevalent than ever. Do you know, Bernie? I mean,
I don't know the Arab thing, the Muslim thing. I think that may be motivating a lot of it, especially in Europe.
some of these college campuses in this country,
Yes, right. It's messed up.
that's really disturbing. I've said forever, one of the most anti-Semitic cities on the planet is New York. So, I remember one time when we used to take the show on the road, Chernoff, Mark Chernoff, I love him, said he's still the operations manager over at WFA, and he's a great guy. But we were going down to North Carolina, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And now he's Jewish. And a lady down there asked him seriously if he had horns.
Oh, God.
What?
And I'll tell you another thing. I mean, I'm not on some crusade, believe me. But, man, I don't think the president helps, and the administration's posture regarding Israel is all that helpful. Do you?
No, and if you hear this clip that Connell has of him yesterday at the National Prayer Breakfast,
Right.
talking about, hey, well, look, the Christians committed terrible deeds back in the Crusades, sort of in the wake of this burning of this soldier, almost excusing it. It's just like it's sick.
Yeah, we have that now if you want to see.
Appalling.
I'll tell you, there is less prejudice with the people I meet in Texas than any place I've ever been. The cowboys at the rodeo and the families at the rodeo, far less prejudice. For example, Joe Beaver, there's not a prejudiced bone in his body, or any of those guys. Those are tough guys, and they're, you know, that's Texas stuff. That's a real deal. But it's really refreshing. And
A lot of these lefties are anti-Israel.
Oh,
They
man.
won't put their cards on the table because they're afraid. And that's the root of a lot
here's
of it.
another thing. Why?
It could be damaging politically to a lot of them. They don't have the courage of their convictions.
Well, why don't people like Jews? Why, Warner, don't they?
Well, I'll tell you a couple things. Number one, there is a jealousy. Education is huge in the Jewish religion, Jewish makeup, family-oriented. Another thing, a huge thing, is the population of Jewish people in the world is 1/4%. That's it. So let's pick on the little guy. Do you think there would be that much anti-Semitism if the Jews made up 50% of the population? No.
Well, look at the prejudice and racism directed at blacks, and they're 13 or 14% of the population in this country. I don't know what they are in the world, but God, it's disappointing. I mean, I know I sound like a sap and like I just arrived on the planet and just figured all this out, but I mean, you get to thinking about it. I don't get it. Anyway, here's Connell. I didn't mean to go on some kind of...
No, but it's on that note, as Bernie was saying, this prayer breakfast is getting a lot of attention from yesterday. There's been talk about how the president would characterize terrorists, whether it be Islamic extremism, and he hasn't said that. He did say yesterday ISIS is a brutal death cult that carries out unspeakable acts in the name of religion, but then he did, after that, go on to say, history tells us this behavior is not unique to Muslims. Listen.
And lest we get on our high horse and think this is unique to some other place, remember that during the Crusades and the Inquisition, people committed terrible deeds in the name of Christ. In our home country, slavery and Jim Crow all too often was justified in the name of Christ.
President Obama.
Unbelievable. The Crusades was in medieval times, and slavery, the abolitionists, John Brown, they were all motivated by Christianity. What the hell's he talking about?
Jesus, that's scary.
That's
isn't it?
outrageous.
Man.
I mean, especially in the wake of what just happened to the guy that was burned alive in a cage.
Yes. This is 2015.
We've grown. Muslim extremists haven't. Stop making
Right.
excuses
It's the
for 'em.
21st century here.
You've done enough damage this morning, McDowell. You're on my. You're lucky you're not in a timeout.
Timeout.
What?
Timeout, New York.
16 after the hour here on the Imus This Morning program.